Let me ask you about a curious thing that I have, and you can help me with this. When he is on the stump and he's doing a speech, like the remarks about Hillary Clinton, are those scripted, or is everything he does unscripted?
No, he's an unscripted guy.
So he doesn't have a teleprompter.
He's an unscripted guy. Listen, you know him as well as anybody, right? He says what's on his mind. He hardly brings notes up there. I mean, he goes up, there's no teleprompters, there's no reading speeches. He goes up there and says...
you're a cautious guy. They call you the cautious sibling, right?
I am.
So do you ever, does part of you just say, I don't know, Dad?
No, I love somebody who speaks from the heart, says what's on their mind, and hey, if he wins, that's what will make him win. If he loses, then I guess, what's on his mind isn't what's on everybody else's mind. I mean, that's kind of the great thing about democracy.
Here's how they play this out, that if he does lose Iowa, and it's looking like he's got to win New Hampshire in that event, let's say he loses both. Smug's game, I grant you. Then your father would be concerned about being labeled a loser, and he might leave early in this race, not go to the end.
Yeah. I think knowing my father the way I know him, I think he'll go to the end. He's a guy who wins.
Even if he loses Iowa and New Hampshire, you think he would still...
I don't know, but at the end of the day, he's a guy who wins. He doesn't lose. He's won his whole life. He's not a guy who will drop out.
Hasn't been a family meeting where you guys have talked about this? All right, let's play it out, Pop. I can't see you calling him Pop. You don't seem like a Pop.
I actually call him Pops. I call him Pops a lot. Yeah, no, I love the guy.
Wow.
No, I think he's going to play this thing out to the end. He's a guy who has his heart set on this. It's what he wants to do. It's what he cares about. The man set aside most of his life to run for the presidential position, right? I mean, in many regards, I don't want to say it's a downgrade, but he has an amazing company. He's got an amazing life. He can do whatever he wants. He's incredibly set. I mean,
but if he makes it to the White House, I know you've kind of touched on this, but he has to, disentangle himself from everything from the Trump organization. I guess you guys run it.
We're there to run it.
Your brother and Ivanka, and you sort that out. Can you really see him being separated from the company and not having anything to do with it while he's running the country?
The thing I'll tell you is he has immense faith in us. You know him, you know us. He's got immense faith in us. We've done a great job for him. I've been in the company for 10 years. We've built an unbelievable empire, great hotels, great everything.
You were worried about that empire, not your own empire, but you were worried about real estate getting a little heady, particularly in this town. Are you worried now?
But we keep very, very low debt. We buy all of our projects in cash. I mean, we have very, very low leverage. We're diversified all over the world.
No, you're very good buyers, but you're also prescient buyers, all of you. And when you were talking about, I think, Chinese and other foreign interests who have been easing back in real estate, I don't think you were saying it's presaging a disaster, but you were worried that things are getting toppy.
Well, I also think that leads to opportunities for us, right? As a private company, we're also incredibly nimble. When the Chinese aren't spending as much money in New York, when the Russians aren't spending as much money in New York because fuel prices have gone down.
But when you see these $50 million penthouses, $100 million penthouses in Miami, they're competing on $25, $50 million penthouses.
It's also gotten silly in New York. There's no question. There are units that are selling for $12,000 a square foot, whereas 5 years ago they were at $3,500.
Are you easing up in New York and just saying, hey, they got to sort this out? We bought very low. We like that things are high, but we're not adding.
In fact, we've done a great job selling. We've sold many of the great apartments of New York. And, hey, if the world ever does do a big reversion, we'll go in and we'll buy a lot of buildings.
I read that I was previewing. The Trumps are thinking this is going to all fall like a house of cards.
Listen, the prices have gotten squirrely. There's no question about it. But, as a company, we diversify everywhere.
I know that. But are you? You haven't been adding to your New York holdings, which makes me think that's it.
And at the right time, we'll go buy up many more New York holdings.
So we're going to have a crash. You're saying we're going to have a real estate crash.
Listen, I think prices on the high end have gone crazy. I also think too much inventory on the high end is coming into the market, right? Every single person who's developing in New York right now only wants to do high-end buildings, right? There's no one that wants to do that $2,000, $3,000 a square foot building. They only want to appeal to the highest end. The problem is there's only so many of those buyers, and when China starts drying up and Russia starts drying up and the world has some economic problems, where are those buyers ultimately coming from? And that's what New York faces.
Yeah, and you were on that a long time ago. Thank you. My best to your dad, the family.
Thank you, Neil.
Hope you squeeze out some good Christmas time.
We'll try. Great being here.
Be well. All right.